many hundreds of years ago in a small Italian town. A merchant had a misfortune of owing a large sum of money to the money lender. The money lender, who was old and ugly, fancied the merchant's beautiful daughter, so he proposed a bargain. He said he would forgo the merchant's debt if he could marry the daughter. Both the merchant and his daughter were horrified by the proposal.
I think the merchant here is rich in their town and have large debt to a money lender. His daughter is
The money
beautiful like
lender
an
told
angel, and
them that he would
even a
put a
money
black
lender catch
pearl
the
and a white
attention of
pearl
her
into
beauty
an empty
and
bag.
liked her.
The girl would then have to pick
I
one
think this
pearl
story
from
is
the bag.
very interesting.
If she picked the black pearl, she would become the money lender's wife, and her father's debt would be forgiven. If she picked the white pearl, she need not to marry him, and her father's debt would still be forgiven. But if she refused to pick a pearl, her father would be thrown into jail. They were standing on a pebble-strewn path in the merchant's garden. As they talked, the money-lender bent over to pick up two pebbles. As he picked them up, the sharp-eyed girl noticed that he had picked up two black pebbles and put them into the bag. He then asked the girl to pick up her pebble from the bag.
What will the daughter choose? If she refuses to take the pebble? Or what if she picked the black pebble? Is it possible to sacrifice herself in order to save her father from his debt and imprisonment? Mm,
After thinking, the girl put her hand into the money bag and drew out a pebble. Without looking at it, she fumbled and let it fall into the pebble-strewn path, where it immediately became lost among all other pebbles. "Oh, how clumsy of me!" she said. "But never mind. If you look into the bag for the one that is left, you will be able to tell which pebble I picked. Since the remaining pebble is black, it must be assumed that she had picked the white one." And since the money-lender dared not to admit his dishonesty, the girl changed what seemed an impossible situation into an advantageous one.
Wow, this is quite an interesting story. I remember the time when I read The Bargain of the Children. It is similar to that on a similar story timeline, but somewhat they have difference in the making of the climax. It's quite interesting. Oh, how sad it is. Huh, she had to choose. Okay, so I remember one thing when I about to enroll in college, I had to choose between my course that I really wanted, which is political science, and the only course that is available in CCSA is education. So I have no choice but to take this course. But somewhat in the long run, I am loving it. I love to teach.
The characters in that story are the merchant, the moneylender, and the daughter of the merchant guy. Then the setting is on the small Italian town. So our rising action in that story where the merchant was in debt with the moneylender, and because of this the moneylender wants to marry the merchant's daughter by proposing to pick a pebble with these consequences. If the girl picked a white pebble, she doesn't need to marry the moneylender and the debt of her father will be forgiven. But if she picked the black pebble, she needs to marry the moneylender, and if she refuses, her father will be thrown into jail. And the next one is our climax. The moneylender bent up to pick up two pebbles, but as he picked them up, the sharp-eyed girl noticed that he picked up two black pebbles and put them in the bag. And our falling action is the girl put her hand into the money bag and drew down pebbles without looking on it. So the solution that the girl made in that story or in this story is she stumbled herself in a purpose in order to fall all the pebbles into the ground. So the moneylender will assume that the remaining pebble in her bag is black and to think that the girl chose white pebble. So even if the moneylender is wise, but the daughter of the merchant is wiser than him.
Synthesizing the story. Facing such situation where I need to choose what to do will lead me to do something that what I think is right, but actually not. So reading the story made me realize that such difficult situation can turn into good opportunity. So, I conclude that when we face such situation, we need to make wise decision.